On Action 2 News, state officials issue a health warning for the air quality impacted by wildfires in Canada. Hear from officials on how the haze is a hazard for all, not just sensitive groups. And we check in on a Fond du Lac County city hit hard by severe weather this week and how cleanup is going for people living there.
From WBAY-TV, your first alert station, Action 2 News at 10 starts now.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I am Joshua Piguero. Brittany Schmidt is off this weekend. As you can see here earlier from our Oshkosh Skycam, it was very hazy out today, which is due to smoke from Canadian wildfires. That smoke has Wisconsin under an air quality alert. In a first alert update, Megan Kernan talks with the National Weather Service and community members about the health impacts.
Stepped out on my patio and saw all the haze, checked my weather app on my iPhone. So it was like bad air quality, unhealthy level.
The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources issued a statewide air quality advisory that began Friday evening. It started out in the unhealthy for sensitive groups, but is now impacting all groups.
When the air quality is this poor, it tends to impact most people, not just people in the sensitive groups.
NWS says the air quality alert is indexed around 170 in northeast Wisconsin right now.
The smoke from all the wildfires coming down in the northwestern portions of the United States and also in Canada as well. So the wind speeds aloft are basically coming from the northwest and kind of curling down across Minnesota and into Wisconsin.
The air quality alert is set to end at noon on Sunday.
But there's a decent chance that the EPA might extend this air quality alert to cover most of Sunday afternoon and into Monday as well.
Several community members say they weren't sure what the haze was and where it was coming from.
I thought it was fog this morning.
Yeah. The DNR says fine particles from the wildfire smoke are the reason for the increase in air pollution, triggering the advisory.
Wildfires are so big and so extensive and so continual. So the smoke clouds just keep rising and rising and rising.
I worry for the people with maybe compromised immune systems.
If you're outside, shorten your outdoor activities, choose less strenuous activities. Just try to take breaks and try to get to places that have air filters as well.
Reporting in Green Bay, Megan Kernan, Action 2 News.
Scattered thunderstorms earlier today that even caused some damage, as you can see here. This was the scene earlier near Dan's Avenue on Green Bay's east side. Here's severe weather specialist Brad Spakowitz in the First Alert Weather Center. Brad?
Alrighty, well, it's over. In fact, across the areas you can see here on First Alert, Viper Max is dry with one little exception, a lone shower right there across central portions of Door County, but otherwise the rest of the region is dry. And we should be dry essentially from this point forward. Otherwise, temperatures right now are mostly in the 60s, a few 70s hanging on there at Fond du Lac and Sheboygan. But here's the other big change. The air is much drier to the far north. And that cool, dry air finds us here across all of eastern Wisconsin for your day Sunday. Now, skies may still be a bit hazy, but will be partly sunny. We will be breezy at times, a little bit cooler than today, and much lower humidity will make for a great Sunday. We'll talk a little bit more about this and find out how long it lasts. That's all coming up in Maine weather in a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Brad. A Fond du Lac woman is dead after she was hit while riding a bicycle in Sheboygan County. The Sheboygan County Sheriff's Office was called to County Highway U in the town of Greenbush just before 10 this morning for the crash. Investigators say the woman and a man were biking east on the highway when an eastbound vehicle driven by a 24-year-old St. Cloud man went around the man on the bike. He allegedly didn't see the woman after re-entering traffic and hit the 54-year-old. No identities were released. The investigation is ongoing. One person is dead after a motorcycle crash in Hortonville. Hortonville police responded to South Nash Street, just south of Honeysuckle Drive, shortly after 9 last night. Crews found a 45-year-old man ejected from the motorcycle. He was flown to a nearby hospital where he later died of his injuries. Investigators say the man was traveling south on Nash Street and wasn't able to make a U-turn, crashing into a ditch. Police believe speed and alcohol were factors in the crash. His name hasn't been released, and this incident remains under investigation. A First Alert update now on storm damage cleanup in Ripon. Ripon police say as of this morning, all roads are back open, but there still might be tree limbs, branches, and other debris on the side of roadways. Sidewalks may also be damaged due to fallen or uprooted trees. As we have reported, the National Weather Service says straight line winds around 70 miles per hour were responsible for a lot of damage around Ripon earlier this week. City officials want to remind residents to take all storm debris from their yards to the city compost site, which will be open all this weekend and into next weekend. Police say to expect an update from city officials on Monday morning. Authorities now know what caused a garage fire in Kaukauna. Fire crews were called to the 1900 block of Augustine Street at 9 last night. Officials say they found a detached garage filled with smoke and were quickly able to extinguish the flames. Investigators say it was caused by a battery trickle charger used on vehicles. They estimate damages to the building along with everything inside at around $40,000. Firefighters say the blaze was far enough from the house that the family stayed inside and avoided any injuries. A helicopter crashed in Columbia County today after attempting to go under high power lines. Shortly after 10 this morning, the sheriff's office was called to a helicopter in a cornfield in Randolph Township. Deputies say it was crop dusting when it tried to go under the power lines, but hit them and went down nearby. The pilot was the only person on board and was removed by paramedics before being flown to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. The crash remains under investigation. All this week, the skies of Oshkosh have been buzzing for EAA. Hear the story of a pilot who survived a near-death experience during a journey all around the world.